Good evening and welcome to Zionsville Community High School's production of You Can't Take It With You, winner of the 1937 Pulitzer Prize in Comedy by Moss Hart and George S. Kaufman. First, please take a moment to take out your cell phone and ensure that it has been set to silent or has been turned off completely. Additionally, take a moment to locate the exits closest to your seat in case of an emergency. During the show, please do not utilize flash photography so as not to distract the actors. Also, please be advised that recording or streaming of this production is prohibited by law. Oh, and lastly, we're making fireworks in the cellar, so there may be some loud, sudden noises. Sorry about that. Anyway, sit back, relax, and enjoy You Can't Take It With You.
Hi, my name is Katie Mario. I'm the director of the spring play here at Zionsville Community High School, and I'm also an English teacher. So our spring play this year is You Can't Take It With You, and I chose it for a lot of reasons, but I think one is that we have a very talented group of kids this year when it comes to comedy. And I think comedy is really hard, like having good timing and stuff like that is like not an easy thing to do, and we have a really good group this year that I think has that skill. So I wanted to pick a comedy for sure. And I do think that this is a message that I think this community needs, which is essentially like the way that you love people and the way that you care for people is more important than money. So I think that influenced my decision as well. The process to getting rights to the production are honestly pretty boring. There's not much to it other than you just go to the website and you ask for permission. You have to share like really random facts, like how much tickets are, how many people are in this like in the auditorium, like what the seating situation is, and then they give you a quote for $1 million, not literally, but it feels that way, and then you give them the money and that's it. It's pretty game over. I've never been denied rights in my life, so I think it's like pretty much anyone that wants them can get them as long as you give them the big bucks. So one of my current friends, who's a former teacher here, resigned from their position for a couple years, and like they were the former director here at Zionsville Community High School, and Zionsville called me, which is very nice and very sweet, and they offered me the position, and it was like I applied for an English position, but I ended up getting the theater part as well, which was part of it, which was really cool.
Hi, I'm Asher, and I'm the student director. I'm in charge of blocking scenes, giving actors notes, and just helping the show run a bit smoother. I also lead warm-ups, which I think you've gotten a few clips of, and I don't know, I have a lot of fun with the warm-ups. For this role, I'm qualified because I've been in theater for a really long time, I think since the 3rd grade. I've had experience in both crew positions and cast positions. I was double casted my freshman year. My sophomore year, I worked on pretty much everything crew-related in one acts. I've been doing crew for a really long time. My junior year, I helped co-direct a one act, and then that gave me the qualifications to be a student director for the spring play. So it's pretty much just making sure you have a good idea of all there is to offer in theater, which obviously you can't know everything, but knowing a decent amount. And yeah. My favorite part of the role, I really like a lot of things about this role. I think my favorite thing is probably either warm-ups or just connecting with the cast.
You know New York.
You need New York.
You need New York.
You know you need.
You know you need.
Unique New York.
Unique New York.
You know unique New York.
You know unique New York.
Needs you. The thing I really love about warm-ups is that's like where I have complete control. Not to sound like a control freak, it's just I am able to do a lot of really cool things. Like if I see problems in a certain rehearsal, I make up warm-up games. I make up different ways that we can use intonations in the warm-ups in order to fix that problem for this run-through. That's a lot of the times what I'll do with intonation. A lot of the times people will have problems with the stage voice, which is pretty much where they speak like they're in one of those really old Shakespearean plays, like, "Doth mother know you weareth her drapes?" Yeah, that's an Iron Man quote. Anyway, I'm a nerd. But a great way to help with stage voice is just to have them try out different intonations, to try out being monotone versus being over the top, and just to have them speak normally. And it's really good to have them very distinctively make different connections between those different voices. And yeah, I also just really love getting to know everyone. That's the reason why I did the spring play in the first place, was because I love everyone here, and it's made a huge impact on everything I've done in my life since. So yeah, I'm really grateful to be here and grateful to have this position.
Come in, you do warm-ups, that's like the first 5 to 10 minutes, and then we rehearse the show, different scenes. I'll take notes depending on like my mood for the day. Sometimes I'll like kind of sit back and just watch and take notes. Sometimes I'll be very like interactive and stopping and pausing and making sure things are better. But regardless, there's always this idea of like feedback being very important. And then we spend the last 10 minutes kind of circling up and talking about what went well that day and kind of encouraging students before they go home.
I'm Ed, and that's Essie.
In reality, I'm Ellen.
And I'm Daniel.
I play Essie Carmichael, who is a terrible dancer, but she's doing her best, and she thinks she's wonderful.
I just play a little guy in an alcove, like all the play. I just sit there and I do my own thing. I also play the xylophone.
He does, and he does printmaking, which is pretty cool.
Oh, well, I guess, yeah, I do that. It's kind of my whole character.
Yep. So, when playing a love interest with someone who I've already been friends with, it is the most fun thing ever, because we already have our sort of inside jokes and banter, and we're already comfortable enough with each other that when we're on stage, we can kind of just look at each other and be like, now do this, and the other one will do it, and it's really fun.
Yeah, the onstage kind of like having the offstage chemistry and then bringing that offstage chemistry on stage really works that well.
It's so fun.
Also, whenever we go back to classes, like the next, or like after rehearsal ends, we come back to school the next day, then like I see her in drawing, then we're that much better friends.
Yeah, and we're also like, hello husband.
Hello wife.
And now we're better friends.
Hi, I'm Hannah Lang. I'm the student director of costumes, hair, and makeup. So that mostly consists of picking out each of the costumes for the characters. So that means I'm looking at like the period, which is 1930s, and then also the color scheme of each of the characters. And then for makeup and hair, it's mostly consisting of like building their looks to match each of their character and helping them do better on stage.
So you are the youngest crew head right now. Why did you decide to take on such a big role your sophomore year?
Well, there wasn't really anybody else. I'm mostly the single one who's really into costumes. I do a lot of costumes like outside of school through different theater groups, and so I thought I might as well go for it, and I got it, which was really cool. So yeah.
All my costumes are coming straight from my closet. I dress exactly like Ed. I'm very excited to see Essie's though, because I mean, dancer, ballerina, tutu, gonna be awesome. I mean, our costume designer this year is she's the best.
We love
the
her.
best.
We love her.
I love her, and honestly, she keeps the entire thing afloat. So I think costumes are gonna be tip top.
Hi, I'm Anna Rotman, and I'm the Student Technical Director for the Spring Play. Some of the jobs I have in this role include managing all of the crew, supervising their meetings, and overall just making the show what it is backstage.
So what is the process on creating the set?
Yeah, so this process includes designing it first, and to do that we look up designs mainly on Pinterest and look at what other schools have done and take inspiration from that, and then we have people sketch out their designs, and then we kind of all come together and take aspects from all of those and design the final sketch. And then from there we talk with our main technical director, and he helps us construct the set to be what it is, and then we find props and other set pieces to just kind of decorate the set.
Hi, I'm Ezra, and I play Henderson as well as G-Man 2, also known as Jim. There's a lot of traditions that we do. One of the most known ones is senior speeches that we do, show nights. All of the seniors that are a part of the production have written a little speech, and they basically kind of share their story about their theater experience and kind of how thankful they are to be a part of it and all those kind of things. And then we also have this lovely little wall. It's all of the different productions we've done throughout the theater department, plays, musicals, and just Mr. Z in general. I'd say that my favorite part of performing in front of an audience is getting them to kind of like laugh at some of the stuff that's going on stage, and knowing that they are enjoying the character that you're putting on for them. It shows you that you've put on, like, it's like validating for the work that you've put into your character.
Hello, my name is Sophie Hollering, and I am the head of advertisement. Advertising is like one of the most important roles like ever when it comes to theater, because if you don't have advertising, you don't have people going to your show, and if you don't have money for your show, well, you got no show. So we do all the social marketing, so that's all the photos you see on Instagram or anywhere online. We do the photo taking, so those photos that you're seeing are all us as well. We do all the designing, all the posters and t-shirts that you see are us. And literally anything else related to marketing, which like is mainly sponsors. Any business ads you see in the program, that's us. Headshots in the program, that's us. Bios are us. T-shirt orders are us. Any orders are us. And yeah, it's a lot, but it's worth it because it gets people to go to the show. And without people, we have no show. So yeah.
Hi, I'm Robbie Bell. I play Martin Vanderhoff, aka Grandpa, in the year's spring play You Can't Take It With You by Moss Hart and George S. Kaufman. This is my third spring play with the school. When I was a sophomore, I did The Curious Savage. Then I did Rumors by Neil Simon, last year, one of my favorites. And now I get to be in this role. And that's given me the opportunity to do a lot of really cool stuff, meet a lot of really cool people. Some of the times have just been so amazing getting to have this as part of my high school career and part of my life for these couple of years. Something that really stuck out to me over the past years and really hit me hard is how much people love each other in theater and the community, and the amount of fun that you can have. Just little moments like that, the little things that you get to do where you're trying to help each other, or just the fun that you get to have, is some of the most unique things about theater, because people get to do that. This year, I think I get to be, I get more time on stage, I get to have a larger presence, and that's something that's really interesting to me. I also get to interact with the family and be a really loving character. And getting to have those on-stage relationships with people is something I think also helps me view them more positively outside the stage and think, oh, yeah, that's my granddaughter over there. Oh, she's having such a good time. And oh, they're getting engaged, aren't they cute? It's something that I haven't gotten the opportunity to feel in previous productions, that I think is the relationships and how in-depth it is what sets this apart for me.
So because I've been a part of both cast and crew, it's really interesting to be able to see both the behind the scenes and what's actually going on the stage. It's a really interesting thing to see how the set design from stage one and the props from stage one all come together in the end to create a beautiful set, which is what the actors are on, and ultimately combining those two is what creates such a wonderful production.
Of course, Tech Week is where that really shines.
Tech
when
Week
both of them
is,
are together.
yeah, during Tech Week is when everything comes together, and it's just like a beautiful little stew of Theater Kid.
Stu is correct.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, my name is Jessica Earls, and I'm the stage manager for Spring Play this year. So I've been stage manager for 2 years now, and I really enjoyed the environment with theater. I've done theater for a very long time. Some of my roles is I have to come in for when the cast is doing rehearsals. I read for the cast when someone's not there, I fill in. I also focus on the sound effects, the light changes, and the exits and entrances for the cue to cue, because a cue to cue is very important, because I'm also in charge of sound and lights, so that when sound and lights come in during Tech Week, they can like look for the sound effects needed, and for the mixing, they know when to switch the mics on and switch the mics off. This year we have Olivia on mics, who has done an amazing job. Mixing mics is not easy, especially when we have multiple people on mics, because we have, I believe, 12 mics and a lot more actors, so we had to switch mics a lot, which was not easy. Another thing I'm in charge of was backstage. Backstage is a lot of fun. The actors are a lot of fun backstage. We kind of just goof around, but I also have to like make sure everything goes well from backstage, like calling the cues, and then making sure that actors remember to switch mics. The rigging, that's a big thing with the curtains, signaling for beginning of the show and everything.
Another thing is the quick changes. Obviously, that takes a lot of work, doing a quick change in like literally 10 seconds. But luckily, Hannah is amazing and she can literally do anything when it comes to costumes.